We go. So for those that are curious, Mute in the HSL in the Hispanic StarCraft League did go up against SpeCial in the semis, did go down 2-0. SpeCial was able to take and claim that series previously in a dominant form, in a dominant fashion. That was earlier this year, back in April. That was in April of this year. It's been 4 months. It's been 4 months, over 4 months even since that event, since that broadcast. In those 4 months, we'll see how our players compare to each other this time as we step into a longer series, into a best of 5. Let's go. Bearing in mind as well, that was a SpeCial that just came out of his hiatus. That was a SpeCial that was very rough around the edges and very rusty. Very rusty. Now he's a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more in form. Let's go as we're jumping to game 1 and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ultra Love. We have the Mexican Terran player. We have the blue Terran. It is SpeCial. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Peruvian Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Bing Bong Exports. It is Mute. We go. Again, welcome to the grand finals here of the beginning of something special. Again, Code for Giants Cup typically is a Brazilian-only tournament. It is a Brazilian bi-weekly tournament, but now we have branched out into a monthly Latin American tournament alongside the Brazilian bi-weeklies. So every fortnight we have some Brazilian StarCraft. Every month we have some Latino American StarCraft. Let's go. As we do branch out to the rest of the region. We do see SpeCial opening up with a proxy on the left-hand side, opening up double gas as well. Are we going proxy... I was going to say proxy Marauder. Are we going to go proxy 111? Are we going for a factory alongside this? No shot. As we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, how SpeCial is known for cheese, known for aggression in this matchup, even more so than usual. But we saw that Master was able to temper SpeCial. Remember, SpeCial went for a 2-base hold in game 1, and Master, he hard countered because SpeCial, he has a reputation. And in the end, in game 2 and game 3, SpeCial, he had to go for a longer kind of approach instead. And we are going for the proxy 1-1. Proxy 111 here, but SpeCial was forced to go into longer macro games, which he did excel in. He was able to pull Master apart, and SpeCial was able to claim that series after he was forced to play more macro. Here, we'll see if Mute plays safe. For now, he's going to be opening up in a standard fashion. No probe scout. Ah, God. Speaking of safe play, there's no safetiness here, Fabi, as Mute, he does not probe scout. He does go for his own gate expand into cybercore, sorry, gate cyber expand. And SpeCial is setting up. We have the reactor on the way, factory is finishing. From here we can go into a tech lab, into proxy tank, into a medevac. And there it is, yep, tech lab into the starport. Now, this is either going to be a medevac for medevac support for the bio army, or we can go into a liberator to likewise support the army in a different way. So we'll see if we go into liberators or if we go into the medevac. Mute's moving out across the map for his scouts. So let's move in, and we'll confirm that everything's missing. He will see no natural base, no Rex, no factory, no nothing. He does reconfirm, does recheck, and Mute now has an idea of what's happening. As he's scouting the right-hand side, I don't blame him. Now scouting the left, does have those 2 hallucinations. And he will confirm. Yeah, he does confirm the proxy, and we have confirmation as well. It is going to be the medevac, not the liberator. Let's go for the medevac. From here, he's moving in. And the win condition for SpeCial is to get on top of the pylon. If he can get on top of that pylon, if he can focus it down, then he can just break this position. Okay, waves are still on the way, going into charge. Charge just began. Again, just a late scout out of Mute, a late realization. A late reaction. Getting on top of the gateway. Okay. SpeCial taking it slow. Also, Pokemon all of us. If you remember, I was like, it's going to be a medevac or a liberator. It's going to be both. The medevac into liberator. So why not both? Tanks are moving in. Tanks do punish. Oof, yeah, they shut down the sentry. Likewise, as we mentioned before, we're getting on top of the pylon. Pylon goes down, everything gets depowered. There is a backup pylon on the way. But the shield is taking a lot of hits, a lot of damage. And the natural is being broken. Charge is now done though. Yeah, charge is complete, liberate a little bit late to siege. But the bunker, it likewise also finishes up. And we focus down the zealots. The tank barely survives. Has both tanks. The boys are here as well to repair. And with the death of all those stalkers, sorry, with all the death of all those zealots, he should have broken the natural here. It's going to be a tough hold for Mute. Nice control. Saves the tank. Tank does siege. All the stalkers, they get within range, they get punished, and with that, yeah, he's done it. Special, he has done it. He has broken the natural base, takes out all the stalkers, pushing in towards the mineral line. The tanks are a little bit far back, so we have to slowly push forward. But there's plenty of support, and there's repairs as well. Plenty of support. The boys are being pulled, Mute getting desperate. Takes down the Liberator just barely, but GG gets called, and Specially will take game number 1. He pulls off the one-base all-in. GG. Whew. GG, well played again. Very greedy play out of Mute. Mute, he did not go for the probe scout. As a reminder, he did eventually scout what was going on, but it was a late scout because it was a hallucination scout as well. It was the second hallucination at that. Again, because of that, he was not able to react earlier with extra gateways, with a robo more importantly. Typically, the way that you would defend against that is going for a robo, is going for your immortal production, building up a vanilla gateway army with immortals to be able to shut that down. We saw that there was no robo. He went for a charge instead, went for a delayed charge defense, and again, it was a shaky setup there from Mute. GG. GG, well played. Special takes the lead in the series, and we'll see how Special adjusts coming into game 2, because up next we're going to be loading into one of the more defensive maps in the map pool. We're loading into Tokamak. Okay. We are loading in. As spawning in the bottom hand corner of Tokamak, we have the Mexican Terran player. We have the blue Terran leading the series 1-0. It is Special. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the Peruvian Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Bing Bong Exports. It is Mute. We go. We are going to be setting up and settling in. And again, welcome to Tokamak. Tokamak has a much longer rush distance by ground, much more defendable third, fourth, and natural base as well. So for going for these all-ins, it's going to be a lot more difficult to really pull off on this map. Not impossible, no, not at all. It is still possible to pull off an all-in, to commit across the map, but typically we expect to see longer games on Tokamak. We'll see what Special goes for. Again, until Mute defends one of these all-ins from Special, I believe he will continue them. I believe they will continue. Oh! As this time we have a probe scout. That makes sense. Probe does go down, but Mute this time he confirms there is a Rax. There's a Rax back at home, so Mute he has learned from game 1, and we should be seeing probe scouts from here on moving forward. To confirm that Special actually is not proxying. Oh, hello. Special going Tech Lab first. So Marine into Tech Lab, CC on the low ground. This is an economic opener, but this looks like a Marauder follow-up, going into Concussive Shell. Now, this is designed to punish a player trying to punish Special. What I mean by that is that Special, he's going for a single gas, he's going for a delayed factory, he's going for a faster CC, and this CC is vulnerable to Stalkers and to Adepts early on, as they can break this and can delay. And Special knows this, so his goal here is to hopefully catch those initial gateway units with the Marauder. As we can see though, it's going to be Sentry first, not Adept, so Mute moves out with a Scout. He's not being aggressive, and Marauders are building up. Not Concussive Shell, he's not investing into the upgrade, okay. Special trying to catch out of units, but the hallucination, I mean, we'll scout this. We'll scout, we'll confirm. Does get eyes on the Marauder. Mewtwo moves in, sees additional Marauders. And spots the add-on swap. Back at home, he's setting up. SpeCial has to back off. SpeCial backs off, he pulls away. Backs off, he pulls away from here. We're just building up. Mute's getting into Blink, so stand follow-up here out of Mute. Getting to Blink Stalkers. Meanwhile, SpeCial rushing into a faster TC. Okay, SpeCial, he is not going for anything aggressive here. Sure, he opened up Marauder, didn't find anything with it. That does slow him down for sure. But from here, he's now going to be switching into a very fast third base into a more mid-game setup here. Okay. Does head towards the mid-game. Again, on Talkback, this makes the most sense. We spoke about it. This map it just doesn't really favor aggression. It doesn't really favor all-ins. So SpeCial being greedy instead, which I appreciate. Nice change of pace after cheesing in game 1 and going for a hyper greed in game number 2. But Mute will confirm. Hallucination does head into the main. There we go. Does get eyes on the CC. It's almost done already. The base is almost done, and Mute, how does he respond? He responds either by catching up on bases, taking his own third, but he has to be active. He has to be active on the map. Ideally, he wants to gain map control and contain SpeCial for as long as possible, because again, that base is already complete. Behind this is no tanks, so you can see how greedy SpeCial has been. The first tank is only just now popping out, now getting into Cloak Banshee as well. But again, the defensive setup here, it's minuscule. Mute, he's expanding. He's just scouting. Yeah, he's just scouting. He does, of course, confirm Cloak. He does confirm the Banshee. Is Raven into Banshee as well. Mute sees everything he needs to, and he's in position. Observer's on the way. Stalker's in position as well. Because SpeCial got scouted, he has the option to cancel, but he doesn't. Ooh, doesn't cancel Cloak. Oh my god. Getting into mech. Okay. Let's go. Not unheard of. We actually saw mech last night, if you were here for the Wardy TV Monday. Cure versus Maxpax. Cure versus Maxpax last night. Cure also went into mech. Here we're seeing something similar, going into Cloak, into Hyperlight Rotors, into additional factories. Again, seeing the commitment into Banshee like this screams mech. That's why this is no surprise. Extra factories are being thrown down. Mech and TvP 2 days in a row. Let's go. Let's go. Hey. Now, there are different forms of mech that you can get into. You can embrace battle mech, or you can go into a more traditional form of mech as well. Both are viable against Protoss. Both are seen as well. If you recall, not just Cure, Gumiho and Cure, and there's another that's slipping my mind, but they have been embracing mech against Protoss. If you remember, Cure, he has a nasty build on Pylon. As Banshees get across the map, they get 3 probes so far. Getting a 4. 4 probes for a Banshee isn't ideal, but bearing in mind that we're still investing into more Banshees. We have more Banshees on the way. They're designed to harass, they're designed to counterattack, and they're designed to keep Mute busy. You should grab a 4th base here even. Checking Mute's vision, he did scout the mech, he should. I agree. Like, scouting this and seeing that mech is on the way, now would be the opportunity here to expand and get a 4th. I mean, especially because he saw the 3rd as well, right? Like, you see the 3rd CC, your response should be to get a 4th base. This 4th base is very late, actually, for Mute. So, we were discussing about getting an earlier 4th to compensate. Here, there just is no 4th, so Mute is falling behind. And like, economically, SpeCial is in a beautiful position. And that's a scary thought. For a mech player to have the greater economy than your opponents, like, that is terrifying. So SpeCial is building up, he's amassing, again, something terrifying. And we'll see where Mute takes us. Ryung does play mech in TvP as well, yeah. So Ryung, Cure, Gumiho, maybe Maru as well. Nice Banshee Ras. Banshees, they hit the natural. Getting 5, 6 probes, 7 for 8. Oh my god. 8 probes going down. Going for a flyby into the main, getting more damage. And we're going to be bleeding off a couple of these Banshees, but SpeCial doesn't just get economic damage, he doesn't just drag the army back home, he also confirms no expansion. He sees no 4th base. And right now would be the time for SpeCial just turtle up as hard as possible. I mean, this position here is looking insanely fortified at the 3rd. There's an opening here on the right-hand side. We'll see how Mute does approach. He does rotate over towards the right-hand side. He gets spotted by the depot. SpeCial not quite in position. He does have to reposition here. So Mute does have mass charge slots. Again, a lot of these tanks are far behind. Like, they're a little bit too far back. Zealots, they collapse in. They're getting on top of the tanks. Yeah, 1, 2 tanks going to be going down and breaks through all the Hellbats. Ooh, but does not break through the siege line. Cleans up the Hellbats, but not the tank line. The tank line does survive. Going for another warp in. There we go. Now the tanks are repositioning, but they're getting caught on siege. Oh no! They all caught on siege. 1, 2, 4 tanks going down. 4, 5, 6 tanks falling. And Mute is done. And Mute, he breaks on through against SpeCial. Core with his pants down. The tanks were out of position. Late to re-siege. Late to move over. And with that, he has nothing. With that, he has nothing left. Mute has done it. Mute has broken through. And there's no art. There's 1 tank. There's now 3 tanks in the main base. But again, SpeCial, he was not set up. He was not set up here on top of the ramp. And with that, Mute, he does push in towards that natural. And there's just nothing here. There's just nothing to defend. He will lose 51 SCVs. Ay, ay, ay. 51 workers going down. The Banshees across the map, they're doing what they can. They're picking up pylons. SpeCial, he's coping a little bit. Ay, ay, ay. I mean, there's no 4th, true, so Mute is not as far ahead as he otherwise could have been. But the main army here should not be dealt with. Oh, trying to force his way off the ramp. He's overextending. Yeah, Mute, he's overextending. Bleeds out a couple of Archons. Okay, we gotta respect the tanks, man. Respect the tanks. As Mute has to pull out. Has to pull out, has to pull away, losing another Immortal. I mean, these are efficient pickoffs here from SpeCial, that is true. The concern here is the economy. Like, sure, he has mules. Mules are good. They're not that good. Aye, aye, aye. But maybe they are. Again, like, the lack of 4th base is concerning. It is a concern. I mean, at least SpeCial's on 2 bases. True. He's only on 2 CCs. He lost the natural entirely. At this point, Mute, he should have already expanded, but he should be expanding. There's no need to push into this. There's no need. We can just take a 4th back. Just expand. He's going for it. Okay, let's go. Risks do arrive with this. Like, this army has a lot of potential to just collapse on top of the tanks. There's not that many Hellbats here in position. The SimCity is worse than previously as well. There we go. 4th base now on the way. And once again, Mute, he does rotate towards the right-hand side, where it'd be easier to engage. Army gets spotted. SpeCial is aware. Hellbats, they reposition to defend. To reposition. Mute, he's trying to slip by, collapsing on top of the Hellbats. He's going for it. Yeah, he breaks through the Hellbats, gets on top of the tanks as well, and he will just work through. Yeah, he'll just work through. A GG gets called. He will break on through, and Mute ties up the series 1-1. Whew. GG. Does tie us up 1-1 here. And again, SpeCial, he was in a commanding position, by the way. Remember, SpeCial, he had a better economy, he had a higher worker count, he had a 4th CC on the way, he had an amazing tank line, but his tank line was mainly set up to defend the 3rd. And as we were pointing out, as Jan was pushing across the map, is that SpeCial, he had overinvested his tanks at his 3rd base. He was vulnerable in between his 3rd and his natural. And SpeCial, he did recognize that himself, but a little bit too late. We saw SpeCial mass unsieged. Remember, he unsieged 4 tanks to move over, but they got caught unsieged. They got caught as they were trying to siege up, so that was a big loss for SpeCial, losing 4 and 5 tanks almost immediately as the fight continued. And from there, he just got broken. He just got broken then and there. So SpeCial, he was out of position. And with that, Mute ties us up. Here we go. We're getting into game 3. We'll see who takes the lead in the series. If we're dying in this game, we're gonna scrap the strategy. I can see that working, like 100%. Like if SpeCial was able to maneuver his army earlier, if he was able to reposition earlier, his tanks, to maneuver over to defend against the right-hand side, I feel like he defends 100%. Like he had the army to work with, but the pants were down, man. The pants were down. And here we go. We're getting into game number 3 and spawning in the top right-hand corner of ley lines. We have, I should also emphasize, not just tanks, but also the SimCity. We did mention how there was some nice SimCity on the left. Again, the right was very vulnerable. But regardless, in the top right-hand corner, we have the Mexican Terran player. We have the blue Terran being forced into a tied series. We'll see if we can bring it back. It is SpeCial. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player representing Bing Bong Exports, the premium Protoss. It is Mute. We go. So we are moving out. Mech is one of those strategies that you really rely on once in a blue moon. We've been getting a lot of blue moons then. I would say it's not uncommon, depending on the player, to see like mech once in a series. I listened to them earlier, like Maru, Ryung, Kyor. Like a lot of the Korean Terrans have been embracing mech against Protoss. But when I say embracing mech, I don't want to give the wrong idea. As you're kind of alluding to, like it is still not standard to play mech, but I would say it's pretty common to see it like once in a best of 5. Like once in a best of 5, even once in a best of 3 sort of thing. There are certain players that avoid it, specifically in this matchup, like Byun. Byun plays mech against Zerg. Byun doesn't. I don't think I've seen Byun play mech against Protoss. I don't think I've seen that. Likewise, who else am I thinking of? I don't think I've seen Bunny play mech against Protoss. Yeah, that I don't think I've seen either. But there's a couple of Terran players there that don't really embrace it. TvP, it's very strange. I would say that's maybe like a little bit out of meta to say that. Like currently, especially because of the Cyclone, like going to mech and going to battle mech is again seen a lot more frequently. Like it's a lot more viable than it used to be, which is why we're seeing it more. I mentioned before that Kyor has a really nasty build on Pylon. Pylon is terrifying because imagine that game where SpeCial successfully defends. Like as I should also not give the wrong impression. SpeCial was ahead last game. Like SpeCial, he had that game. It was SpeCial being out of position. It wasn't his build. It was SpeCial there that was caught out. We could have seen that build working. Just because it failed doesn't mean it was the build that failed. But imagine that game. On Pylon, and once SpeCial builds up, the counterattack hits so quickly. That tank move out hits so fast, and it is so difficult for Protoss players to slow it down and to deal with that. We've seen Kyor and some of the other Korean Terrans pulled off in a scary fashion, specifically on Pylon. Yes, it's crazy. Just because it takes so little time to go from your 3rd base to your opponent's 3rd. But here we go. Special does move out, going for his own mine drop. So going for a more standard setup here, going into his mine drop. Tank production has begun, and we'll see if Special can break through. Threatening the main. Oh, can you calm down? As the mine drop moves in, we have hallucinations to bait out the shots. Let's go. Does attempt to. Nice on Burrow. Shot goes off. Reapers are coming from behind. The shield battery does keep the workers alive. Oh! Ooh, as a bit of miscontrol there by Mute, so the sentry does go down. Nice pickoff. Getting 4 probes in the sentry. Not bad here by Special. Here he backs off. He pulls away. And the tanks are slowly amassing. Tanks are building up. There we go. Tech lab on the starport. Okay, we're investing in the upgrades. I was curious to see if we were going to be getting into Stim or not. We do have the eBay on the way. That'll be for +1. Looks like this should be for an add-on swap. Yep, in towards Stim. So we're building up in towards the Stim timing. Once again, Special harassing. Liberator into the main. And Reaper towards the natural. So far, getting 5 probes. 5 workers going down. Oh, nice catch. Units catching out the Liberator, getting his 3rd base. Claims the third moves out, so we do have a much more old school follow-up here. It's so much more common to embrace Storm nowadays, and hey, we even saw Storm previously out of both Mute and or out of Mute, but here it is going to be Colossus going into the Bay. Bay into Colossus production. No Storm. Again, still very much so viable. Oh, nice snipe on the medevac. And pinning back Special does punish, takes down a Stalker. But overall, Mute does contain. Special is quite heavily fortified here with his tanks. Like we're scanning across the map, trying to get an eye on what's going on. Special, he hasn't seen the Bay yet. And seeing a Robo is not enough of a tell. Special's trying to move out, but 1-2 tanks gonna be going down. Yeah, brutal punish. Again, the Observer did spot the tanks, did spot the Unsiege. And yeah, nice. He's like, how'd you know? Scans, takes down the Observer. But that was well worth it for Mute. Ay, ay, ay. Catching out both tanks. Now down to 2. Tank almost cut in half. And we pull the boys. Yeah, we're pulling the boys. We're going for the all-in. It's going to be all or nothing. This is going to be a weaker push here from Special. The plus side, though, is that Mute, he's not slowing this down. He's not being active here in the center of the map. He's not here to force the early siege, to pick off Marines, or to pick off any tanks. Now he spots the army. Now he knows. And I realizes there's a scan. First Colossus has arrived. He's got force fields for the ramp as well. Oh, some premature force fields. Catching out one SCV. Are being knocked down. Mute's getting a 2nd Colossus. So far, just picking away at workers. Special slowly pushing through. But again, Special's taking a long time here. That 2nd Colossus is on the way. Yeah, here comes that 2nd Colossus. Shield batteries going down. Stalkers are coming from behind, going for the tanks. Nice positioning here from Mute. Gets 1 tank. Once again, down to 2. 2 tanks left. Cells diving in. And the boys are being pulled. Mute is getting desperate here. probes are going to be going down, but I mean, hey, his opponent pulled the boys as well. Oh, the Colossus, they fall, they go down one after the other. SpeCial breaks through, he breaks the back here of Mute, takes down the Colossus. And SpeCial should have enough. He should barely have enough here. What's crazy, Mute, he lost 19 probes, still ahead in workers, by the way. He's still ahead in workers, still has an economy, but he will lose the expansion. Mute's coming in from behind, he does get the tank. God, there are so many medevacs. Jesus. Gets a tank. SpeCial pulls away. And is this enough damage? That's the question here. He got the economy, he got the base. Did trade with the army, reset the Colossus counts. And back at home, his own economy is lackluster as well. So it's still a little bit messy. Still very messy. I do prefer SpeCial's position overall. He can always lift and land his main base if need be. Once he starts winding out from his main. He has mules, of course. But he wasn't really set up for a longer game. Like, he has no second eBay, he has no +2, he has no armory, he has no third CC. Like he's not really set up to get into anything longer. Does he pull the boys again? He might, to be honest. He might just pull the boys for a second time. Now he's moving out. He scans, he sees the expansion. Does notice that Mute is re-expanding. Oh. Okay, just getting some depots. Mute does spot SpeCial. At the same time, going for his counterattack, catching reinforcements. SpeCial is moving in. He has no intention to macro out of this. Oh, brutal force fields. Force fields, they do time up. Stimming on forward, stimming into 3 shield batteries, and the Colossus does barely survive. Oh my god. Still have so many shots. Finally goes down, but did pay for itself. More than pay for itself. GG gets called. SpeCial, the army gets shut down, and Mute takes the lead in the series 2-1. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Again, a wild dive there out of SpeCial, chasing the Colossus through 3 to 4 shield batteries. With that, the Colossus survived so long, tanking so many shots, and of course, kiting back and dealing so much damage. We saw that SpeCial just ran out of steam, ran out of army. Behind that, he had nothing else behind it. He had no third base, he had no further upgrades, he had no further tech. He was all in. GG. GG, well played. With that, Mute does take a lead, and we'll see if Mute can clean the series up and claim it, or SpeCial can force the ace match. Let's go. Let us go, as we're going to be loading into Persephone. Let's go. Whew. And again, a crazy dive there at a SpeCial. Ay. What's crazy? And here we go. We're getting into our next game, and spawning in the bottom hand corner of Persephone, we have the Mexican Terran player. We have the blue Terran down in the series. So we'll see if we can bounce back and force the ace match. It is a SpeCial. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Peruvian Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Bing Bong Exports, leading the series 2-1. And 1 game away from becoming our first Code for Giants Cup LATAM champion. It is Mute. We go. Whew. Again, just a crazy game there, just because SpeCial, the all-in wasn't too unsuccessful. As we pointed out, he was able to reset the Colossus count, he was able to kill the third base, he got the economy as well, but again, he was all in, right? If you're all in, we say that for a reason, right? It's all or nothing. You're typically not set up for the game to progress any longer. As we were pointing out, it's like he had no expansion, he had no upgrades, he had no further tech, so he followed up with a second all in, but alas, over time, Mewtwo was able to build up a greater army, build up a better position. GG. Now we're getting into our next game, and once again, double gas opener out of SpeCial, going for the faster factory. Going for the faster tech. We'll see what Special gets into. From here, we can go into, say, earlier Cyclone production, do a Cyclone drop. We can go into earlier tank production instead and commit with early tanks. We can switch into an add-on, switch into Banshee play. We'll see. See how Special does embrace our game on Persephone. We don't really expect too much different out of Mute. We expect 3-gate blink. If he deviates, we'll point it out. So Reaper does move in. Gets a probe. He gets 2 workers so far. Not too bad of a trade. So moving in with the second Reaper. Here we go. Twilight Council behind the middle lane. Yuchi is not going into Stargate. He's not going into a Robo. There's no 2-gate opener or anything crazy like that. As Reaper does go back in. It's back in. There we go. Confirms the tech. And Premier can leave. Even does waste a force field. Oh, I spoke too soon. Yeah, Stalker does reposition. Nice catch there by Mute. Very nice. Special, he will deal some damage here at the 9 mining time, getting a probe. Shouldn't get too much more though. As we have the mine drop follow-up. Going for the mine drop. I'm most curious about the tech labs after this, to see what we stick with, what we go for, what the follow-up is going to be. Set initial mines. Late reaction. Jeez, late reaction keeps. Oh my god. I say late reaction. Delayed and almost non-existent reaction. 7 pros going down to the mine drop. Ay, ay, ay. Again, Mutes, I assumed that he would be able to react in time, but alas was unable to. 7 probes. That is a brutal start here, especially considering Widowmine survived. One of the Widowmines did get away in the drop. Ay, ay, ay. So a strong start at a special. Behind this, he's not going into Banshee play. So Raven, into an add-on swap, into Stim. So no Banshees at a special. Mine drop into Raven Harass. Building up his Bio Army. Now, because so much damage was dealt, I would say the special might be tempted to go for a 2-base all-in. To go for a Stim timing and to commit across the map, just because he knows he has a lead. We'll see if that's what he goes for, or if he does plan on expanding and getting into the mid-game instead. Special, he has that choice to make. He's got options. Options. We're now working towards +1. Getting into combat shields. Mute does expand. Mute's getting into Storm himself. Last game we saw Colossus, this time getting Storm up as a mine drop. It does go off, and again we pull back too soon. 3 more probes going down. That's 10 probe kills. Oh no. 10 probes going down. A very nice mine drop here by Special. Moves out. And he opts to expand. Okay. Again, as I mentioned, like, he had the option to throw down 2 more Maxes, but no, he will expand. He will get a 3rd CC. He's going to slow things down. Hallucination does confirm the CC. You can see him double check. So again, he does confirm. As Special, he is moving out, but he's keeping the tanks back at home. Again, only moving out to harass to apply some pressure. But that is going to be a lot of storms. Special, he has to be careful. Remember, he doesn't have to commit. He gets high Templar. Nice pick up. Gets a Templar. No major storms yet. Special just has to play it slow. Poking in, pulling away. He does see there are 5 high Templar with the army. Oh, spots the observer. Special just gaining map control, containing Mute. Does contain, moving out with more drops. Let's see if Mute can keep up. Oh. So it gets spotted. We see some units in position here for the drop. Catching out hallucinated Colossus. Dropping to the main base. Army's in position. Nice setup. Ooh, force some more in the Archon. And force some more in. The job still gets damage done. Takes out the Stalkers. But Mute is ready. Yeah, he's more than ready. Does punish. Does not with the army. Oh. And Muhi defends. Muhi defends. He's holding on. We have the Bay on the way for Colossus. He's slowly building up. Now, we've been here before where Mute, he's on 3 bases, he's taking up, but where is the 4th? Special, he's denying it. He's denying that 4th base. Very active. Once again, still reinforcing, still rallying across the map. And again, Special, this is not designed to try to push into the bases and try to break the 3rd or break the natural. This is just to contain, to trade, to apply pressure. To delay any expansion. You can see Special is at every 4th location. Pushing into the natural. He's hitting quite hard here. Yeah, storms are going to be popping up. Takes down 3 Eye Templar. Not bad. But he has to get out of here. Yeah, he has to get out. He has overstayed his welcome. Oof. Barely gets away. Please add a little supply. I believe he did reset the high Templar count. There's 1 Templar left. Mew just immediately counterattacking. Oh no! The Medivacs! Oh, gets 1! The empty one! Ay. That was close. Gets the empty Medivac. Full one gets away. Oh. Ooh, as looks like Special had to pause for a moment there. Yo, feels wireless mouse, man. I could never. I could never. I don't trust it. Special moves out. Once again, Special being active, and Mute, he's finally going to be expanding. Finally does claim a 4th. Can he hold on to it, though? Can he hold on? Ooh, as Special's going to be pushing into 3 Colossus. One of them does not go down. Once again, minimal Templar. Relying a lot more on the Colossi. We have 2 more Colossus on the way. It's going to be up to 5. Jesus. That's a lot of Colossus. And so far, 0 Vikings. Viking production only just now beginning. I believe there's only 1 starport, so limited Vikings, limited anti-air. I'm sure there are Marines, but especially against 5 Colossus, we need those Vikings. Muti's being active. Yeah, Towards the left. Nice EMP on the High Templar. But there's another storm coming in. Ooh, oh god. He does stand in the storm. But the base will fall. Still a better trade here for SpeCial. Takes down the expansion, moving in towards the left-hand side as well. Runs into the army. Has to pull away. SpeCial losing 2 ghosts. Potentially even more than that. 4 ghosts. Jesus, the 3rd ghost going down. SpeCial getting caught out here in the center. Yeah, thankfully only 2 stalkers and not much anti-air. But a couple of strong moments here from Mute, catching out the ghost, catching out the drop. SpeCial, he does get away. You can see Mute is looking. He's still looking for the drops. Doesn't quite find him. So far, SpeCial still just pulling Mute apart. Getting into the bases. Takes down another expansion, but this army is caught. SpeCial, he cannot escape. Yeah, he can load up 2 medevacs, only 2. Major Rotor's going down, drops into the main base. A lot of dead supply here for SpeCial. And here comes a counterattack. On the one hand, yes, SpeCial's doing a lot of damage. On the other hand, the main army has been building up. The High Templar, the Colossus. Remember, there's still 5 Colossus. There's more Colossus than there are Vikings. Only 4. Only 4 Vikings. Army moves in, bit of a late feedback. Nice anti-armor missile. But there are so many storms. Storms are popping up. Maybe a little bit too trigger happy with their storms. And where's that support? First Colossus does go down. Sorry, second Colossus even. There's 3 left. Oof. Barely 3 standing. You're reinforcing. He's still got 2 High Templar remaining. The High Templar are coming in. He's got storms. And again, SpeCial just doesn't really have much on the ground. SpeCial is broke. Trying to pump out units. He has excess gas, no minerals. And Mute's trying to push in. There he goes to the dive. Vikings, they get one of the Colossus, but GG gets called. The ground army does break through, and with that, the single G as Mute, he will claim the series, he will break the expansion, and Mute will be our very first Code for Giants Cup LATAM champion. GG. GG, well played again. Mute, I'm sorry, I will say SpeCial, he had a better start. He had a better start, had a stronger start, but the game slowed down. Remember, we spoke about it, how SpeCial, he chose, after he took a lead, he chose not to press that advantage. He chose to expand and instead focus on map control. He was able to deny the 4th base for quite some time, that is true, but eventually Mute got his 4th base, and we saw towards the tail end of that game, we saw SpeCial getting caught out. We saw him getting caught out with his ghosts, caught out with his drops, caught out with the main army on the left hand side as well. SpeCial bled out a lot of units in such a short period of time. It all snowballed into a win, into a big win there for Mute. We saw that SpeCial, who was just having a hard time actually gathering resources, replacing what he was losing, as he was losing Vikings, losing ghosts, losing medevacs. GG. GG, well played. Mute does punish. Mute does claim the series. And Mute is our champion. Congratulations here to Mute. Again, Mute, he does get his revenge from HSL during the Hispanic StarCraft League. We saw that SpeCial did take him down 2-0, but that was back in April. That was 4 months ago. That was over 4 months ago. Now, 4 months later, Mute takes him down. Mute does take him down, so GG, well played. And again, this is going to be a new regular monthly tournament. Code for Giants Cup is a fortnightly tournament every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks we have Code for Giants Cup. That is a Brazilian tournament. Now we have a Latin American version on a monthly basis. So a big shout out to Cosmos. Big shout out to those working behind the scenes on Code for Giants Cup. Big shout out, thank you so much. And the new circuit has begun. That we have a new circuit here beginning here with Code for Giants Cup. It all led into a big offline finals last month in Sao Paulo. We don't have the setup for another offline finals, but I'm sure that might be in the works for the near future. I know they were very happy with the performance, with the turnout. was a very solid event, and you know, we may see more of that in the future. I look forward to it. Do look forward to more Brazilian and Latin American StarCraft. Let's go. That's good. Ooh. He leveled up. Yeah, he's been improving. He's been improving every time. He has been more active than SpeCial for sure. So again, that hard work paying off. I do see Ragnar claiming a replay redemption in the chat as well. I do have a couple of replays that have been redeemed. I have one from Ragnar, I have two from Hyper One as well. We'll be getting into it. Unfortunately, not quite today, but during a later broadcast. Quickly checking, maybe after Sunny Lake Cup on Friday. Maybe after Sunny Lake Cup, we'll be able to jump into those replays. Yeah, we have the opportunity. But otherwise, do look forward to seeing more of these tournaments, more of these players as well. Do look forward to it. Again, when it comes to our weekly schedule, bam, we do have our weekly schedule ready for you. We just wrapped up with our Tuesday morning broadcast. We currently don't have a broadcast for the evening. We have a lot of work to do outside of that, though, when it comes to editing and scheduling VODs. But I say that we do have a broadcast this evening. It's going to be the RSL European Qualifier. The European Qualifier is going to be this evening for the Revival StarCraft 2 second season, and we also have Big Star Cup tomorrow morning as well. Likewise, we have the Pongcast on Thursday, we have Sunny Lake Cup on Friday. This isn't up to date, we actually have another cast Thursday morning. We have the OC Elite Rising Star Tournament, we have Little League Cup, Platinum Esports League, and plenty more StarCraft over the course of the week. Plenty of StarCraft, plenty of content, plenty here on the channel. So we'll see you guys later on tonight. Later on tonight here. That's going to be 2 a.m. KST. That's going to be 3 a.m. AES. 3 a.m. Oh boy. That's going to be brutal, Pat. That's going to be brutal. That's going to be in around, what, 14 hours? 14 hours time. We're going to be live with some Revival StarCraft League. Oh, God. It's going to be a time. Let's go. Until then, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We do appreciate it. And I'm going to get some work done. I'm going to rest up as well and get ready for this evening's broadcast of RSL. Oh boy. But again, thank you so much, Ragnar, for redeeming the replay. I would advise you to post it in our Discord server, or you can PM me on Discord as well, so I can get your replay. And again, we'll be casting it most likely on Friday. There is a free slot available on Friday to cast on replay, so I'm going to be pulling that off. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope you did appreciate. And we'll see you guys next time. For some more StarCraft. Again, 14 hours. RSL. Let's go. Let's go. See you next time.